Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president of the United States. Carved into the walls of the memorial, his memorial, is the words of the Gettysburg Address that Lincoln delivered. It is so important to recognize the role that God played in the founding of this country and also during the time of America's Civil War, and how President Lincoln was the president during a time we thought America would be totally divided. But his stand with God and dependency on the Lord brought us through. Check it out. Be sure to subscribe and press alert to get new notifications of new success secrets made available on VFN TV.
We're going to continue our conversation with about Rediscovering God in America, a book that was written by Newt Gingrich, and the subtitle is Reflections on the Role of Faith in Our Nation's History and Future. If you haven't picked up this little book, we encourage you to get it. It's pretty good. And what Newt does is takes us on a journey of all the monuments and begins to share with us different things in regards to how religion, Christianity, has been in the public square for many, many, many years. And today we're seeing such a huge conflict with those that would try to eliminate God, take God of everywhere. They have a problem with God being on our money, so they put him on the edge of the coin. Mm-hmm. They have a problem with the Pledge of Allegiance, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, but they want to take under God out. I was past the Whataburger, by the way. If you're not familiar with that franchise, it's a burger franchise, and one of their windows has under God, which is pretty cool. Yeah, they have an American flag out, and so a lot of there's people that are standing up and saying, "Listen, this is one nation under God, okay, and we're not going to let this go." You have those that try to take prayer out of the schools, and that happened, but now they don't want it to happen at commencement speeches or nothing like that. No, don't bring up Jesus here. And then you have during the holidays all these politically correct folks, which, what is that? Really, that's not wanting to give Jesus his due. It's his birthday. You want to celebrate Christmas, Christmas, but you want to take Christ out of Christmas. Call it something else. Don't call it Christmas, right? But you have to. You know what it is. It's Jesus that we're celebrating, and they want to take the nativity scene out of, federal buildings.
We're so excited about our new book, I Will Fight, Strategies for Your Success. You got to have a strategy, and you got to fight. It's not about a physical fight, but you got to fight. And guess what? If you fight, you win. You'll be successful. This book is about transforming your thoughts, about what your beliefs, the decisions that you're making, about speaking. What you say is so powerful, and what you do, what you're saying, your actions you take. And quitting, don't quit. Listen, success and failure quite often is just 5 more minutes. And finally, think about this. So many people talk about you should do this, and you should do this, and you should do this. And look what they're doing. They're not doing nothing. You can't let people tell you should do this. As a matter of fact, they can't be putting their should on you. This is so important. Listen, we want to bless you with your free copy of I Will Fight, Strategies for Your Success. You can get it at vfnkb.com. That's vfnkb.com. Get your free copy today.
When you look at all these monuments and there's scriptures, etched in stone, etched in all these different places, and we've been talking about different monuments like the National Treasure, the Washington Monument, and now we're getting ready to talk about the Lincoln Memorial, which is pretty neat. President Lincoln was the 16th president of the United States. We're learning, because a lot of this stuff, I didn't learn this. I learned history, but I got his story. And you'll see we're gonna not now. We'll have a picture up there soon for you to see what the Lincoln Memorial looks like. I didn't get a chance to see it when I was in D.C. I was all the way on the other side. I was by the Washington Monument. I didn't get a chance to see the Lincoln Memorial.
I don't know if I saw it or not.
But this is a quote from Abraham Lincoln. I am profitably engaged in reading the Bible. Take all of this book upon reason that you can, and the balance by faith, and you will live and die a better man. This is Abraham Lincoln. Now, if you know his history, he ran so many times for office and lost. He's lost, and he just kept, kept going. And ultimately, he won, and you think, wow, man, for such a time as this, just the way things converged and the way things happened was pretty amazing. But this memorial was actually dedicated May 30th, 1922. It took some time. In fact, we have a picture for you where you can actually see what it looks like, and we'll make sure we'll have it available for you on the torch. They made some sort of like I don't know, I guess they call it a temple, but it has 36 columns all around it, and the 36 columns represent all the states that were in the Union at the time of his presidency. They're in the country, and then later, and above each column, there's a state that's etched in the stone, in the marble, over each column, and then afterwards they've added other states, obviously to the monument. But this is a towering figure. This thing is huge. I really don't know how tall it is, but it looks monstrous.
Massive,
yeah, it's massive, and which is pretty neat. He is facing the reflecting pool and looking at the Washington monument. So this is just amazing. Look at all this type of stuff. But it was dedicated. One of the things I'm realizing as I'm going through this book, and I'll probably continue the same conversation when we get into the second hour. Don't miss it. We're 2 programs back to back. But I'm realizing that this takes a long time. It took almost 10 years, I think, to build this thing, and then to raise the money. Wasn't any money to build these monuments. So they had to keep going to Congress, and finally Congress set aside $2 million to get it done and to put it up there. But talks of this monument started as soon as he was assassinated. This president was assassinated, and that's when they started really talking about it. But the book continues to talk about his religious reflections. And they said on the left side of the statue, inscribed into the wall, is the Gettysburg Address, a famous speech that Abraham Lincoln gave. And he says the speech is only 267 words long, but it concludes with Lincoln's view of America's relationship to God. And I'm quoting, says, we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom. This is Abraham Lincoln. In his second inaugural address, which is considered by some to be his greatest speech, and it's also inscribed into the wall on the right side of his statue. It's only 703 words, in length, but it mentions God 14 times and quotes the Bible twice.
Wow.
Yeah, think about it. This man was the president during a time where our nation was fighting civil war. It's reported that 620,000 Americans lost their lives. And if that won't keep you, close to God and praying. He says Abraham Lincoln relied on the power of divine providence to guide him and guide the nation through those long years of civil war. It's absolutely amazing. And it's pretty interesting to note that almost 100 years after Lincoln's inaugural address, his second one, that Martin Luther King Jr. gave the I Have a Dream speech right in front of the Lincoln Memorial.
Wow.
I mean, it's all these convergences. You go, wow, God, this is amazing. But listen, we have a great country. Why should we have to lose it? Right from the beginning, we have seen presidents and we've seen the founding fathers give so much credit to God. I cannot get away from the fact that it was George Washington who started the very first Thanksgiving Day, that we should be thankful. The nation should be thankful to God. But it was Thomas Jefferson who made it a national holiday. President Thomas Jefferson said, listen, we're going to make this a national holiday. We got to give thanks to God. We're going to stop from our labors. We're going to stop from everything. We're going to shut it down. It's my favorite holiday, one of my favorite holidays, where we say we got to thank God for all the blessings that he has given us. Listen, we say God bless America. He already has. It's time for America to bless God.
Be sure to subscribe and press alert to get new notifications of new success secrets made available on VFN TV.
A lot of people want to abide with the Lord, but they just don't have a plan to do it. You can request that plan today at iabide.org.
I'm your host, Greg Lancaster, and we're so glad that you've joined us. Don't forget you can join us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Download our app and sign up for our newsletter, The Torch, at vfnkb.com. I've enjoyed our time together. God bless.